Okay guys, we got something new here. It's a bingo pinball machine, and the research I've done on it says it's from 1984. It's a Sirmo brand, which I think it's from a foreign country. I can't remember what country it's from, but it's called New Orleans. And this is where I got it from, in South Carolina. So it has 6 cards on the back. You can see there's 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom. I haven't attempted to try it, play it, or do anything with it yet because it's so old. I'm going to open it up and just make sure everything's working properly inside, make sure everything's there and it's connected. There's nothing missing. So the cabinet work, it looks good. Cabinet's in pretty good shape. Except for right here, which we have the pieces for that. We can glue them back in there. This is the back of it. And show you up close the play field. It's got a river boat on it. And looks like 25 holes. 25 holes in it. And these games were, when they were new, they were used for mainly gambling. They were kind of disguised as pinball machines, but they were actually really just gambling machines. And I can't tell you a lot about bingo pinballs, but I just know they were gambling machines. I've played them before. I've had one before. I had a Bally, and I sold it, and I got this one recently for a good price. It has all the cards still in here. Hopefully it's not a lot of glare. Probably is. 125 or 150. I can't remember. I'm gonna get the flashlight because you can see a little better, maybe. See there, all those little cards in there. And there's the game rules. Let's see if I can get it in a way that there's not so much glare. It's 25 cents. There's 2 coin mechs. These buttons I know I looked up and it said regular payout and double or nothing payout. I'm not sure what the C is for. I have to do some more research on that. I know you can download the manual for this. It has a yellow. One of these is a replay. I know. Maybe I think the red might be the replay. I'm not sure what the yellow, if that's like the start button. You got your coin mechs. And I dropped a quarter through the coin mechs and they work. They're all in, working order. I dropped the coin right in here before it comes through the slot here. And they modified the inside of this. As you can see, they put these funnels and they must have had a big box on the bottom that would catch all the change. There's a switch in here for something. It might be to knock the credits off. What would happen is somebody would win, say, 10,000 credits. Then if you knew the bartender, or in some places where it's legal, they would pay you off those credits instead of making you play all those games off. But you can buy, I know you could buy a good game if you keep hitting the I think this credit button, if you keep hitting that, it'll give you more advanced options on the board there. That's the way my Bally worked. So I've never played this one, so I'm not sure exactly. I'm going to take it apart. I'm going to pull the First thing you do on all these pinball machines, there's wing nuts down here, usually a couple studs, and then you pull this off like so. I'm going to put this on the tripod and I'll show you the rest. Okay, so you take that piece off of here, then you take the glass out. Gotta be careful. Sometimes the edges are sharp on these glasses. Sometimes this one, the edges are nice and rounded off. Slide that out. Then there's screws. This kind of screw here with a grommet on it. See that? Will be on the play field. There's 4 of them. Take those screws out. Then you can reach in here. You can reach in here, and you can lift up on the play field. Sometimes you got to push it back a little bit. You also have to pull the plunger back. See, I'll show you. Pull this plunger back, and then it'll clear. You can lift up on the play field, and then you can pull it this way a little bit. This one. It's got little notches here, little stops for laying the play field. Kind of have to guide up the wires a little bit. And the wires will be hung. You gotta be careful you don't tear up this ribbon tape. Ribbon cable. You be careful you don't catch on anything. And then there's usually a couple screws holding the ball return in here. You can lift that out. This is when the play field opens up all these holes up here. See all them holes? When the it's called the shutter. That'll move back and forth, and then the balls will drop into this tray down here. They'll drop into this tray. Here, I'll put it back in there. You can see. They'll drop into the tray. And then, so the balls will, you can see where they've been dropping, these lines here. They'll pour down here, and they'll go into this trough here. Take this out. See, the balls will go into this trough, and there's some switches here. And when the proper amount of balls are on this, hitting the switches, you could start a game. Now, if all the balls aren't in there like this, there's only 3 balls in the game, so it would never start like that. You need to have this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 balls, because there's one down on the elevator already. This is the elevator. This mechanism right here. It has a little arm that will push up the ball, and the ball will come out this hole, and then it'll end up right here, and you can shoot the ball up the play field. And then you want it to go into the holes, push certain holes, and work it like a bingo card. Okay, so this one doesn't have a whole lot in it since it's solid state. Now, if this was an old Bally machine, electromechanical, it'd be filled with all kinds of relays and mixers and all sorts of mechanisms, electromechanical mechanisms. This also, I noticed one thing on this one here. Some states you had to have flippers on your machine to make it legal, because then you can have input. This one has a flipper button on the side. See? I'm not sure if they added that in or if it came that way. It kind of looks like they added in. Look at this flipper here. They may have added these flippers in. So you got a flipper here, a flipper here. I'm not sure if they work. But this one doesn't have a spring on it, does it? It's kind of all bent up here. This bracket's all bent, and it's all kind of cockeyed sideways compared to this one straight up and down. So I'm not sure if these flippers even work. But I think originally these didn't have flippers on them, and they're just pure gambling machines. And some states you had to add a flipper to it to make it legal as a game, and then they always had a sign on it that would say something like for amusement only, no gambling. Okay, so then also put this back down. Yeah, you can see the playfield better now with the glass off it. Let's see. I'm gonna get this, take this off the tripod. It'll be a whole lot easier. So get a good look at the playfield. I have all that glare. There's your river boat. The numbers. All kinds of decorations on them. Got, this looks like some kind of flowers on the side. Hit, win, lit. Lights corner feature, so I got some kind of rollovers. There's one here too. That one sounds like it's working. This one, I don't think it's working. I hear it clicking. See this clicking? Ball return. And there's a lock up here. When you take that, unlock that, take the trim off the top. Take all that off of there. Then the glass will come out and the computer will be in the top there. And there'll be all kinds of other electronics up in there. But I don't have the key, so I'm going to have to drill the lock or try to pick the lock. But that's it, guys. It's a new project I got going. Try to get this thing running. Okay, guys. I've been working on the pinball a little more. There's a lock up near the top of the back glass, way up here, that you have to unlock, and I don't have the key for it. And then what you do is you lift out the back glass, and there's more components up in the back in the head. So I end up having to drill a lock. I did try, if you can see that, I tried picking the lock. I made my own lock pick. This is my tension tool that I was trying, and I made this lock pick. Hopefully that'll show up in the video. And I was able to set some of the pins, but not all of them, and I wasn't able to pick that lock, so I ended up drilling it out. And this is the lock here. I drilled it out. This was, I'm guessing this was inside, or this was the back. This part must have been on the back of the lock. And I'm thinking this is maybe the only thing that was holding it in. This I found inside the back. I had the back glass out already, and this was laying in the back there. So yeah, this definitely wasn't inside there. This was what turned, I guess, when I drilled it. I drilled it straight through. So, and this fell off the back. This must be the part that turned, and that little nub there, I'm guessing, is what held the glass in. Then when you turn it this way, has enough clearance you can lift it up. So I'll show you how that comes out of there. So you just take a screwdriver under here. There's a metal rim all around this back glass, and you can get your fingers underneath here and you lift up on it, pull out the bottom, and ta-da, comes out. Then you're left with the back part that lights up, and it has some some digital readouts on it. Then what you need to do is loosen these nuts right here, and then slide that up on both sides, and this whole circuit board goes forward. That's the light board. Not sure this is all lights too. And then the same thing here. You've got some screws. Loosen that screw. Pull this up. On this side too. Pull that up. And then, let's see if I can get that. Should come forward. Yes, I should. Might have to be lifted. I have to have two hands free for this one, I think. Okay. Lift this up maybe a little bit. Yep, there it goes. And this. There's two little nubs there that the board sits on. This is all the brains of the unit. So this pinball's made in Belgium. It's a Sirmo. And here is the guts of the machine. This replaces all the relays like an electromechanical. Okay. Not sure why, but that's unplugged. Obviously plugged right in there. I'm not sure if that's something for troubleshooting, like checking the fault codes or something. There's another plug over here. That's empty. He's got a couple fuses. More fuses over here. More fuses back there. Some heavy relays. It's all there. Now this is the battery. Everybody talks about what I've done a little research, and they say this battery here, if it leaks, it'll destroy the board. It looks good. So I'm probably going to replace this battery anyway. That holds the memory on the circuit board. I'm not sure if this adds functionality to it. Maybe that adds a feature or something. And they have that unplugged. I'll have to read. I did download the manual. So looks like everything else is plugged in. Looks good. These are all dip switches right here. So these control the features. You can flip these switches up and down. See, a few of them have been flipped right here. And that changes the way the machine operates. Okay. These are all transistors, I believe. All this here. Another thing to look out for with old electronics is the capacitors. Like these capacitors may swell up and start leaking, and a lot of times if you replace those, then it'll work right. This one looks like it got hot right here. See that? Heat on there. So I'm not sure if that's a bad one. If there's a problem, it may be that right there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to replace this battery, and then I'm going to try firing it up. So there you go, guys. That's what the inside of one of these machines looks like. Okay, there was definitely a mouse living in here. You can see I collected up all kinds of cotton or something here that I'll show. I'm gonna have to clean all that mouse nest out of there. I don't think he was in there very long. He didn't chew on much. But I can tell I didn't see anything that was chewed on. But I'll have to clean that mouse nest out. This is the ball lifting motor. I think this is a diagnostic port that you plug into, but I'm not sure. That could be AC, just a plug-in for AC, but I don't know. Not sure about that. It's an adapter. And what do we got over here? These are the counters. Another electronic circuit board on the side here, but mostly it's empty in here. There's a transformer in the back. There's the Coimex, and they modified it because they had a change box, a big box on the bottom, because a little cash drawer that sat in there was too small. I'm sure that filled up too fast. Okay, and there's a tilt mechanism over here. See that? It's like a lead weight. If you bump it too much, that tilts the machine. And look back here is the transformer. It's a big one. That's about all that's in the back there. Transformer. And pretty much that's the whole guts of the machine. This is the shutter motor. As it closes the holes, it slides back and forth. Alright guys, there you go. That's the inside of a Sirmo electronic bingo pinball. Okay, the head comes off the machine, and to take the head off, this bolt's right in here. You can see that. One there. There's two. There's one you can't see, it's underneath this board, and there's two on this side.